Baradon Breeze Nation, I am going to give you the 3 things that I have been most concerned about that I've seen throughout the entire preseason, and it starts right now. Now, if you guys are new to the channel, please like the video. Please subscribe to the page because we do talk Chicago sports weekly. We don't want you to miss a thing, so make sure that you hit that bell. I'm telling y'all, this is the only channel that's talking Chicago sports, how Chicago talk. So get in tune with us. I mean, listen, there's a lot of stuff that we can point to about things that we're concerned about heading into the regular season, right? But these are 3 things that have stood out to me consistently in pretty much every game. And honestly, I think that things that if the Bears were able to shore them up, if the Bears were able to really get them under control, that would instantly help them moving in the direction of winning. And so I just 3 things that I kind of noticed and wanted to bring out. And I mean, listen, I want to know some things that you guys have that you think that the Bears could absolutely improve on that would instantly help. And these aren't even really positional. Number 1 for me, discipline. The Bears have proven to be, over the last few years, a pretty undisciplined team, especially when it comes to offensive line and defensive line. We've seen a lot of jumping. We've seen a lot of offsides. We've seen a lot of holding. We've seen a lot of, you know what I'm saying? Like the discipline of the Chicago Bears does not seem to be there under the Matt Nagy regime. And the problem comes in with that when y'all saw the video yesterday. If you haven't seen the video yesterday, where me and Kid are kind of breaking down Matt Nagy's offensive play calling and how it affects the team. When you have somebody who seemingly is struggling as a play caller, when you have a play call or an offense that is continuously struggling, it doesn't help you when you finally get the ball rolling, that you stop a drive. And we see it so often. Soon as Justin's first drive with the Bears, he gets in 2 back-to-back false start penalties. This is stuff that we can adjust. This is stuff that should be addressed. This is stuff that we shouldn't be going into. And this isn't just a couple weeks of preseason. You know, that's the thing that I don't want much to fall into the Matt Nagy talk on. Matt will have you believe that, oh, you know, we're just in week 2 of preseason. This is not something. No. This has been ongoing. This has been since Charles Leno Jr., which is the reason he's not here. Everybody clamoring for him to come back. Nah, y'all remember all them false starts and holding penalties on 72. Like the discipline of the Chicago Bears has been atrocious for a couple of years now, and I really think that that's something that, I mean, listen, if you clean that up, how many drives last season did we see that were stopped because the Bears were at 3rd and 1, and then you got 2 back-to-back false start penalties? Now all of a sudden it's a 3rd and long situation, and the drive is killed. That is something that, if addressed, and if actually the Bears are able to improve upon it, I mean, listen, we've seen possible touchdown drives end because the Bears have been undisciplined. And so, to me, that's just taking points off of the board for yourself. And at this point, how this offense is looking early, now hopefully it doesn't look like that when the season starts, but at least how this offense is looking early, you're going to need every opportunity you can get to put points on the board, because it doesn't look like there's going to be a ton of those opportunities based on what we've seen so far. Now, hopefully I'm wrong on that, but at least right now, to me, discipline is a major concern for us heading into this season. And if we clean it up, I think that the team will be moving in the right direction offensively. Now, before I continue with the video, I want to know how you guys feel, man. What are your biggest concerns heading into the season that you think, man, if the Bears just shore this up, they will be so much more prepared for football on Sunday? Let me know in the comments below, man. I'll be down there talking with you as well. Number 2 for me, open field tackling, especially on 3rd and 4th down. We have seen the Bears continually seem to get juked out of their Nikes on these open field tackles. I mean, it's something that honestly defensively has kept drives going every week of preseason, and it was something that became a concern last year while Kyle Fuller was out, while Jalen Johnson was out. You know what I'm saying? Like the open field tackling of the Chicago Bears has been so bad, and it's something that the Bears do a great job, I believe, in getting you into the third and short situations and getting a stop in those third and short moments, because you do got Goldman, you do have Hicks that up there. Those are two big boys to try and blow through. But man, when it gets to the outside, it gets ugly. And I mean, it's not even just the outside guys. I mean, we're seeing not only, Kendall Vildor and that young cornerbacking crew miss a lot of open field tackles, but the linebacker position has been horrible. I mean, Ogletree has missed a couple of tackles himself. I think that we haven't seen much of Trevathan and Roquan in this situation, so maybe that just adding those two pieces back in will help. But I think Eddie Jackson missed one last week. Like, the open field tackling for the Bears, it's just it's turning plays that we're seeing plays that should be normally a loss, even 5 yards behind the line, turn into 10 to 15 yard plays that just keep drives going and kill the momentum of the strong defense that they're showing. Now the Bears are, I think the Bears are still going to be a very much bend but don't break defense. I think that they'll have more turnovers this season, but I think that when it comes down to it, when we get in those goal line situations, the Bears are going to be real tough to beat, just like they were last season. They were one of the better teams in the goal line situation last season as well. And I think that that's going to continue this season, because I think that they're going to be trying to go after that turnover so often that plays will get, you'll get more yardage out of plays, which I'm fine with. But the biggest thing for me is the fact that when we've got somebody dead to rights, we can't get them down. And that's something that, listen, those plays, you don't know how those can break. You know what I'm saying? If you do that against a Tyreek Hill, or you do that against a DeAndre Hopkins or an Odell Beckham, if you miss one of those guys in an open field opportunity and you've got them dead to rights, and that could turn into a big touchdown. That could turn into something that could break a game wide open. And so to me, that's one of the biggest concerns that I have coming into the season, because man, it's been glaring the first couple of games of preseason. And like I said, maybe it's just because the players who are there, they're not going to be in the starting rotation as much, and the Bears were missing a lot of defensive starters, but there were also a lot of defensive starters out there, and it was a lot of the defensive starters who were missing those tackles. I think, didn't Robert Quinn get juked out of his Nikes on one of them? So that was a tough one, and so really something that the Bears absolutely need to clean up as soon as possible, because that is going to be something that is absolutely going to be a detriment to what they're trying to do. And then number 3 for me, special teams is atrocious. I mean, it is really bad. It is not close to being bearable. Who would have ever thought that the cutting of Cordero Patterson would kill everything on both sides of the ball? Special teams for the Chicago Bears in the last couple of games has been, you know what? I can't even say the last couple of games. Honestly, like, I was at training camp when they were at the Dolphins, when they had the joint practice with the Dolphins. I guess that's not training camp. That's just practice at that point. But, I mean, every time the Bears did a kickoff, they were running it back 25, 30 yards. That's something that absolutely will kill you. Listen, we're talking about the defense missing open field tackling. It's a lot harder to stop the opponent when they're starting off with excellent field position on every play. And the punt team has been getting dominated. The kickoff team, now the kickoff team, you can kind of navigate it. And I often wonder, with what we saw in kickoff in preseason, if Cairo's kicking it short, or if the other team is kicking it short, to see, okay, let's see what this guy can do, or let's see, just to see, kind of what our kickoff coverage looks like, what our punt cover, what our kickoff coverage looks like. So like kickoff, I'm always like, we'll see in the regular season with that. But the punt coverage, I mean, Pat O'Donnell drops some bombs. He drops bombs. And the punt coverage just can never, again, we're talking about open field tackling. I mean, we've seen them miss guys dead to rights continually, and then all of a sudden it break for a big play. Last week it broke for a touchdown back to the house. Like, the Chicago Bears punt team is so much worse without Cordero Patterson on it. And I don't know if it's just Cordero Patterson, but he's the one that I noticed because he was always the dude that was down there first. He was always the dude that was in there on the defensive side first, ready to make a hit on somebody, ready to lay the boom on somebody. And to me, you don't have that guy, or I haven't seen that guy yet. That's good. That's going to be coming down there ready to make a play. And that's big. That's big, man. I mean, I don't know. I don't even know how you would fix that at this point, like going into the season. To me, that seems like a major coaching issue, but I don't even know like what you could do. Like, you can't just swap out all new players and be like, we got to get them better. Like, I don't know if you got to come up with a new scheme on punt coverage or something, but I am very, very concerned about the special teams of the Chicago Bears. Not so much the field goal side. I think that the Bears are going to be fine with that. The kickoff side, like I said, that's going to be that to me, that's a wait and see, because I need to know, are they testing something in preseason? Are they testing their kickoff coverage, which hasn't been great, hasn't been good at all, honestly. So it's still a concern, but I want to know if you're leaving it short, because in that situation, it's like, all right, Cairo, we're not that good at kickoff coverage. Put this thing in the back of the end zone every single time. But I want to know how you guys feel, man. What are you guys concerned with about the Chicago Bears heading into the season? I'll be down in the comments talking with you as well. As always, it is your boy, Pat the Designer, back at it again to continue watching our Chicago Bears content. Click the links here or check the links in the description below. And and make sure to go cop some merch. We got new Bears merch dropping this Saturday. Get in tune with your boy. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Peace.